Alright, so this is my aquaponics system. Aquaponics is aquaculture and hydroponics. Hydroponics is soilless media for your plants, and aquaponics includes fish. The fish is the aqua to it, and right now they're kind of hanging out in the bottom and all, but these fish is the aqua side. The aqua part is basically if you have a fish aquarium or a goldfish pond, you're already doing the aqua side. And what this allows is for the fish waste to create ammonia, and the bacteria break it down into nitrates, which is fed to the grow bed, which is a form of nitrogen, which the plants use as nutrients to grow. And as you see, they're doing pretty well. So I'll walk you through the system on how it works. So this is just a screen, kind of like a window screen, what have you. There's one pump down in there. The pump pumps the water up to the fish tank. Doesn't look like your normal fish tank. It's a food grade 55-gallon barrel. I do have a drain on the bottom in case I need to clean out excessive solids or what have you. And the fish grow just like they would in a fish tank. There's some big boys down there you can see and some smaller guys. There's approximately 100 fish right now. I think there's about 3 or 4 larger fish and quite a few smaller ones. So the water comes in through this hose. I have it angled so that it creates somewhat of a whirlpool effect that'll help with the solid collection at the bottom, and also to give the fish some current so that they stay strong. This next guy here, all this is an overflow in case the pump pumps too much water into the fish tank. It doesn't overflow over the side. What it would do is in turn it'll come right out that little bulkhead fitting and come right back down into the sump tank. Sump tank is very important. Try not to do it with just a fish tank. You need gravity to help you. All these pipes I'll explain in a minute. So basically the water gets pumped into the fish tank, and from the fish tank, if you can see, there's another bulkhead fitting, and I put a little flex fitting in there to run all of my grow beds. And all this is PVC, none of it is glued together. There is no glue involved, so everything is 100% organic. There are no chemicals involved. All I do is I add fish food, and each one of these grow beds have a little valve so I can control the flow all the way down through. If you can see that guy, all the way to each one, to each one, to each one. You do want to put at the very end of the very last grow bed just a little cap, not just to plug it off so that it doesn't leak, but in case you need to clean the line, you can pull that cap off and you can flush the line out of any solids or any kind of buildup, which is great. If you look at the system itself, it's a 2x4, pretty simple construction. I didn't go overboard. It's all, you know, just 2x4s thrown together. I wasn't worried about if they were bowed or bent or had some bad places or what have you, because you look at half of a 55-gallon barrel and how much water it may hold, but with all the media, which these are nitrogen, which is a clay pebble. These guys take up most of the space, so the actual total amount of water in each one of these is close to a quarter of the amount. So the weight is not as heavy as you may think it would be if it was completely full of water. These little stones, just a cinder block stone I broke in half. I'm gonna lift this guy off here, move it over here out of the way. And this is what they call a bell siphon. The bell siphon is basically PVC pipe. This is 3-inch. I kind of went a little bit overboard, but this is a PVC pipe and a cap on. The cap does need to be watertight, so you want to make sure that you jam it on there pretty good. On the bottom side, I cut little slits out, little notches and whatnot. And the highest notch, this highest notch here, will be as much as the water drains. It'll drain down to that level, and then it'll start refilling again. Down inside, as you look, it's just a stand pipe. It's pretty simple. It's just a PVC fitting screwed into a bulkhead fitting. PVC pipe, I cut it a certain length to keep it about 2 inches below the surface, so that there's the top portion of the clay pebbles don't get wet. They don't get moldy and wet and everything. All of the moisture stays down towards the bottom. And basically what happens on the bell siphon is it's something that you don't have to do anything other than get it adjusted the first go. And once the water starts flowing over that top, it'll start flowing back down into your sub tank. What this does is it allows the water to fill up the same way, and once it reaches that point, it creates a siphon because it's an airtight seal on the top, and it'll allow that grow bed to drain. I went a little bit overboard on the extra piece there, that extra piece of PVC. It's a 6-inch, and all that is to where if I have to adjust something, I can get my big hands down in there and make adjustments and not have to clean out all of the clay pebbles. This rock here just keeps leaves and whatnot from getting down in there. And as we come down each one of these guys, some will siphon at different times, and you can regulate that. You can adjust your inflow on how much water is going to the grow bed. They go all the way down to the very end. I'm not going to get too involved in that because a lot of people say that, fill your grow bed once every hour or half hour or twice an hour or once every 2 hours, and there's all kinds of information out there. This is just what I've done. It doesn't mean it's the most perfect situation. I experimented with this and it seems to be working great. These 55-gallon barrels, you can find them anywhere from free to $15, $20 a piece most places. I picked up some of these a year and a half ago, and then finally decided to do something with them. 2x4 structure. I can kind of show you. It's pretty simple. Going underneath, it's very simple. I've got a couple of boards to support the weight, which in hindsight there's actually not as much weight as I thought there would be. It's not a complicated build. Here are my wife's succulents. She's using a part of my grow beds that I don't have plants in yet. And we've got some okra. Here's some tomato plants I just planted, I transplanted this evening. This guy's a little bit droopy, but come tomorrow, when the sun comes out and everything else, that he'll be doing much better. Some more of my wife's succulents. How beautiful are those things? And this guy is a repetitive system to where I don't have to do much when it comes to managing things. A lot of gardens you have to go out and you have to water every day or once a day or once every couple of days, and it takes you a while. I put in fish food, the fish eat, and the water goes to the grow beds and the plants grow, and then all the extra water comes right back down to the sump tank and circulates one more time. So all the studies I'd seen says that it takes about 5% the amount of water as opposed to dirt farming because of how much evaporation and absorption and whatnot here. Now we're only having to deal with the evaporation and what the plants use. So it's kind of expensive to get set up and to get going. Like I said, as far as the 55-gallon barrels, the PVC is pretty cheap. This grow media, which like I said, it's clay pebbles. If you can find an aquaponics store or a hydroponics store or even shop online, you can find this stuff. And I was told that it was the very best to use, so I went with it, but it is expensive. The most expensive thing of this build was these clay pebbles. You may be able to find them fairly cheap or used and be able to clean and rinse them. But this is my aquaponics system.